Our next speaker is Kendall Wilson from Digit Alchemy Tech Limited. Mr. Kendall is a global leader in business intelligence, driving forward-thinking technological innovations that shape the digital future. Please welcome Mr. Kendall Wilson.
Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right, so 3 things off top, just to start. Number 1, shout out to the UAE leadership for 2 things, right? Hold on, let me get them out. Number 1, you have seen some of the billboards. They say we are all Emirati during this time. We don't want to talk about what happened. However, I have been in Afghanistan, I'm former military. I felt so safe here for the last 3 to 4 months. And that's a shout out to the UAE leadership and the defense. Second is I have an AI startup that I started about 6 months ago. Shout out to anybody from Abu Dhabi here. There's few, okay. My company's based out of Hub 71. By far, I will put up on the screen where I've worked at throughout the world. This is the best place, the best incubator, the most supported AI ecosystem on the planet, by far, by none. The support that you get from the UAE government, from Hub 71, etc., and ADGM, best in the world. Shout out for that. Third thing, any other Americans in here? No? So, apologies on behalf of what's going on. Just gonna leave it at that. So, no sound. Okay. All right, so that was just a quick one there. Since there's no sound coming.
On the 36th
we bypass.
floor of Sky Tower, Al Reem Island, Abu Dhabi. You may be wondering, so what exactly does digital alchemy do? The simple answer is this: we turn complexity into clarity. We help governments, developers, consultants, and infrastructure leaders make sense of digital transformation, smart cities, digital twins, AI governance, IoT, and regulatory compliance, without drowning them in consultant theater, buzzwords, or 400 slide decks nobody reads. Digital alchemy connects standards, regulations, data, BIM, GIS, AI, and operational intelligence into one traceable digital thread. Not just pretty dashboards, not just prompts into generic AI. Actual evidence-based intelligence that can be audited, governed, and trusted. So whether you are trying to build a smarter city, validate a digital twin, govern AI, or understand what your data is really telling you, you are in the right place.
Okay, so this just touches on where I've been, my overall journey. Some of your countries are probably represented there: Saudi Arabia, United States, UAE here, China, Singapore, Denmark, etc. My mother's from Italy, and my father's from Puerto Rico. So quite an interesting mix there as well. And you can see some of the major companies that I've worked for as well. I've worked for Meta over in Denmark. I spent 3.5 years there. I worked for Google in Singapore. Recently just finished up my doctorate degree about 4.5 months ago as well from Golden Gate University. And just all the certifications. So this is just a brief. I'm not going to go through the video because I'm going to respect the time. But when we look at digital transformation, we approach it through basics. All right? So we have BIM, which is Building Information Management. You can also use the B for blockchain for all my financial people here as well. Artificial intelligence. We have smart cities, and there's a ton of specifications for smart cities. We have IT, which is always very important in the process. Then we have sustainable cities as well. And then at the bottom, we have ISO 30105-9. If you ever heard someone talk about digital transformation, ask them if they know what 30105-9 is. Guarantee you, they won't know. It is the only ISO specification that is specific to digital transformation, the only one. And it covers 7 essentials for digital transformation. We've built a small language model based on this for digital transformation. Okay. So, I had a young lady here ask me a bit ago about what is a digital twin. This is one of the buzzwords. This is one of the catchphrases now. So I just want to talk about what a digital twin is very, very quickly. We have a visual experience twin. So that's kind of when you have on like the Oculus, you can kind of walk through, you can, if any of you used the metaverse way back when that was popular, now it's under, but that's that particular experience. Then for anybody who is in AECO, Architectural Engineering Construction, there's the Building Information Management Information Twin, okay? Then we have the Geospatial Site Twin. So this is when, if you're familiar with things like movies like Toy Story or Cars, a lot of that was built off of the S3 platform, all right? It's city layers, and that was started by an American in the late 70s. And then how do we operate the building? This is another type of digital twin. So for facilities management, how we operate that building. What we do is we plug into each of these layers, and we have software where we can provide what-if scenarios, predictive maintenance, risk and optimization. But not only from a data standpoint, we can also visualize that as well. So we can visualize it across these different types of a digital twin. Don't let somebody tell you that a digital twin is only one thing and there's only one application and there's only one way to experience. There's a ton of different types of software that you can use, and there's different ways to engage with a digital twin as well.
When people say smart city, a lot of the conversation gets very fluffy very fast. More sensors, more dashboards, more blinking dots on a map. But the real question is, how did you decide what sensors were needed in the first place? Was it a vendor catalog, a BOQ, a best guess? Or was it a repeatable method? That is where Digitalchemy changes the conversation. Patent application number P2026-01477, titled System and Method for Regulatory Compliant Sensor Deployment Using Asset Spatial Data, is not about simply counting devices. It is about a structured, agnostic methodology for translating asset spatial data into regulatory compliant sensor intelligence. In plain English, we can start with a room, a villa, a building, a district, or an entire city and apply the same logic. The method looks at the space, its function, its regulatory context, the required outcomes, and then derives a sensor deployment strategy in a traceable way. A BOQ tells you what you bought. Digital Alchemy helps prove why it belongs there.
Okay, so our methodology has a patent, right? And it's a repeatable process. So I just wanted to highlight that we don't guess, we don't use ChatGPT, we don't use Claude or Anthropic. We have our own small language model. One of the other things that's important is, I'm sure everybody in here uses ChatGPT and Claude, etc. Data sovereignty is becoming very important. Whenever you put something into those large language models, it goes out to the world. So if you're working for a government, you're working with sensitive data, you're working with sensitive information, when you put it into ChatGPT or Claude, you've essentially given all of that away. Somebody's in the back, somewhere in the corner, extracting all of that information, training that large language model. So whatever you've put in there, now the whole world will have access to, should they data mine it correctly. We don't use any of that, we use our own small language models. Okay, I just want to give a big shout out to a company called Media Logic. Again, my company started 6 months ago. I signed my first MOU with a company called Media Logic. They are a multinational company. They're in Dubai, Mumbai, Chennai, and London, and hopefully I'm going to help them launch in the States. Although I hate going back to the US, I will do it for the purposes of making money. They sell all of this software, but they have supported me throughout this process and brought me forth to my first few contracts. They've opened up a lot of doors for me. I've gotten all of this software for free. This software is very, very expensive, so I've been able to leverage them to help me to use software as well. And I've been bootstrapped up to this point. I haven't taken on any investors, and I'm considering taking them on as an investor, as my very, very first investor. So know where you stand. I talked about ISO 30105-9. It looks across these 7, am I up on my 10 minutes, or is that not for me? Is that for me? It's done. Okay, all right. Just quickly, I talked about digital transformation. This is ISO, okay? What we do is we come in and we do an assessment. We make a digital compass. We look at strategy and objectives, governance and management, customer engagement, culture and structure, digital operations, technical infrastructure, and the partnership ecosystem, right? Where you are right now, where you want to be, and a roadmap to get you there. And it's not just Dolly, Dr. Kendall, whatever, being smart. No, it's me referring to an ISO standard and making that bespoke to your company or your organization's digital transformation. And another one, just very quickly, this is digital twin. This is ISO 30186. It's based on digital twin maturity. 90% of all digital twins are right here. They're just pretty pictures. There's not anything happening with them. There's actually 5 different levels of a digital twin, and there's an ISO specification that you can audit against to see where your digital twin is at, how functional it is it value added to the business, or is it just a pretty picture in the tick box? One last thing that I'm going to touch on, and then I'm done, I promise. We've developed something called a digital concierge as well, okay? We have a digital concierge so that when you walk into a particular building, I can't say because it's a confidential client, you have a person, a digital avatar that greets you, that's fluent in these languages, English, Russian, blah, blah, blah. We can put it up to like 40 languages. And what that does is it creates a natural language flow. Hi, I'm here to see Dr. Kendall. Oh, Dr. Kendall is here. Let me bring him on Teams and see if he's available. Okay, that's great. Or you can come in and say, hi, I'm coming into this property development. Do you have any 2 bedrooms for about 2.3 million, which is on the light side for Dubai. But for Abu Dhabi, we're good, right? So we can train that on all of the company's data, even from a CEO perspective. Have I lost money this month? How are my projects doing? How are my construction projects doing? How's my portfolio doing? Small language model, trained, and conversates, and this can be, obviously, you can make this any person, any language, any ethnicity, whatever you would like to do. And it's built behind the firewall, so you have your data sovereignty as well. Thank you very much. Sorry for going over a bit. Everyone have a blessed day.